So you need to realize you are that people. You didn't earn it. You were born into this. What did Jacob do? After he woke up, he had this realization. Now remember, Jacob is the third of the lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He had to have hung around Grandpa, right? And he hung around Isaac. And it's amazing how Abraham lied about his wife, saying she's not my wife. Then Isaac does. And now Jacob is on his way to get a wife. Are you with me? How Abraham runs into a guy named Melchizedek, and he has this revelation of who God is, while he is a multiple God guy. And he realizes who God is, and he says, I'm going to give 1/10 of everything I have to him. Then we go through Isaac. Now we're Jacob. Jacob's on his way to get a wife who he can't even lie about yet, and God's going to cut off some stuff. God's going to deal with him about some stuff. He's not going to repeat the generational things that have happened in his line that were bad. He is going to continue the generational things that were right and good. Amen? Some of us need to remember what our grandma was doing and what our grandpa was doing and how they prayed us through and how they stayed and wept on altars and how they prayed in the night and how they badgered us all the time about stuff. Why? Because they wanted a future for their generations and they knew the foundational things that were true. They may have not had all the theology figured out and they may have been off on some stuff, but their heart was towards God and everything they had was towards God, and they wanted what's best for us, and they did the best they could with what they knew how. And I want my kids to give me the same grace as I need to give them, that I'm doing the best I can with what I know how to right now, because my heart and my soul is for you to have a future, a hope, and an expected end. And I want every generation to get better than the next and keep accumulating mentality of God and understanding of God, because I think eventually, as the whole world is turning and transitioning, there will come a place where we will have heaven on earth. And you call me crazy all you want, I'll die living this way.